NFL playoff season is upon us, and you are going to need a couple of whiskeys to watch the games with to accompany you as your team loses and the Lions win their first Super Bowl ever. Kira,
do not ask me what I know about football. You usually go, Kira,
who invented football?
What do you know about hot tubs and all this other stuff?
You know a surprising amount about hot tubs. It's ridiculous.
Okay, you don't want to get too trashed too quickly. So you're going to go for a 110 proof. And it's going to need to taste sweet because you're going to have a bitter taste in your mouth because everything about you is going to get angry. And you're going to want this Pikesville straight rye whiskey. Why? Because football's for straight men. Why do we keep doing the straight joke?
All right, Pikesville Rye, also very, very affordable, findable. I think in Michigan, it's a little higher than other places, like $49 here. At one point before the channel, Pikesville Rye was the most expensive bourbon or rye we have in the bar.
It smells so sweet. This smells like the nuts that you get when you're at, not Comerica Park, Lions Park.
Lions Park is what it's called, yeah.
Ford Field.
Take me to Lions Park, please.
When you're at Ford Field and they make the nuts. The roasted cashews, the roasted almonds, whichever one.
They make their own nuts.
You get to choose which one you want. And they come in an envelope looking like a cone.
How many envelopes are cone shaped? At one point, Pikesville Rye was Kira's favorite whiskey on the planet.
Yes.
Kira, how has it stood the test of time?
I love it. I'm still getting a lot of like lemon punch too with it, which is I think why it's always been one of my top favorites. But I like a lemon anything, and with this, it just gives that brightness. It's not overly rye or minty. It's sweet. There's no burn. There's no aftertaste. Aftertaste. No burn. I don't know, the aftertaste could be me drinking more, I guess.
I have not looked up Pikesville in forever. I believe it's like a barely legal rye. It has some of those boo rye type vibes to it. Definitely not, the mint is there, the citrus is there, but it's not overpowering. It's
citrus, see you said citrus. Mint is not citrus.
Well,
mint is a leaf.
Naming multiple things.
Oh.
So I taste mint and I also taste citrus. And those are typical rye notes, which is where I was headed with. I taste those things, but they're not overpowering. They're very, very balanced with the whiskey as a whole. You don't get a lot of like Kentucky nut, but there is some bourbon-esque notes in there, some brown sugar, some more of that barrel char that I think you typically associate with more of a bourbon. But yeah, it's crushable at 110, affordable, findable. The very first one that we bought, they told us we needed to buy it at the Evan Williams Experience because we weren't going to find it anywhere else. And we came home and the very first store in Michigan we went to had it in spades.
Those liars.
Sometimes the Evan Williams Experience, they sit on a throne of lies. For me, watching the NFL playoffs, I want something that means something. Because all of these games now mean something that has the vibe of a championship or the essence of a championship.
Okay.
So I'm going to bring out Essence Bourbon from Not Virtue, even though it still has a little V there, guys. Evernorth Spirits. This is bourbon barrel number 5. Only in at like 103 proof, 102 and change. This is a 7-year bourbon out of Indiana. It's 74% corn, 21% rye, 5% malted barley by them BJ and boys and their partner in crime, Randy Brandon is how we call him. Getting into Essence Bourbon from Evernorth Spirits that has a V as a logo.
This smells like almond extract. That's bourbon?
It's an interesting bourbon, isn't it?
Uh-huh. I know bourbon can be sweet, but this tastes like Sagamore rye sweet to me.
It reminds me of the honey finished bourbon that we have from King's Family.
Okay.
Sort of like this not, in my mind, it's not super duper duper sugary, like a dried out honey is influencing everything.
Mm-hmm.
I really like it. Definitely a change of pace, but not like change of pace like when you see stupid whiskey tube channels, and I'm gonna go ahead and say that. Stupid ones that say, you should try Balcones. If you are watching a channel that says you should try Balcones, that's on you. The channel can create whatever content that they want.
I know. Do you know how many people
hate Balcones? Everyone.
Yeah, and then they still go, oh, I love it so much, you should try it. And it's like, you're a friggin' moron. And then they go, you're not even a real whiskey channel anyway. And I go, but then why are you talking to me? That joke's on them.
Well, the joke's on anybody that puts Balcones in their mouth.
It's real rough.
Just raw dogging it in there. Balcones just raw dogging in your mouth.
Ew.
It's not a pretty picture, people. They do it different down in Texas.
Well,
now you're ready for the NFL playoffs. Stay tuned for Whiskeys for the Super Bowl.
I want a hot tub with a water feature and a TV that comes up from inside the tub. So I can just sit there.
That doesn't sound like a hot tub. It sounds like a brand new life. Brandon is always real horny when you go in there.
He does
watch
talk
the
about
cornhole.
penises a lot.
But I like that about him. People don't talk about penises enough. There's always like, oh, vagina, oh, wop, 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 wet ass pussy. Can someone write a song about a wet ass dick? That's my question.
You know, I love talking about penises too, but once it's like been 10 minutes or more about the same penis, mind you, not different, then I think maybe we should move on.
I like to keep the rotation of penises I'm discussing moving.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you spend too much time discussing one dick.
Yes.
And there's a lot out there that I want to get to. I want to discuss. You can't spend too much time on just one dog.